Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew 6, verse 27 and onward says, "But I say to you which will hear me, love your enemies, do good to them that hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. And unto him that smites you with one cheek offer the other, and to him that takes away your cloak forbid not to take your coat also. Give to every man that asks of you, and he that takes away your goods do not ask them for again. As you would that men should do to you, do to them likewise. If you love them which love you, what difference are you from anyone else? For sinners also love those that love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what difference are you from others? For sinners also do the same. If you lend to people, hoping that you will receive what you have lent to them, what difference are you from other people? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love your enemies, do good, and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward shall be great. You shall be called the children of the highest, for he is kind to the unthankful and to the evil. So be merciful as your Father is merciful, and judge not, that you shall not be judged. Condemn not, that you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that you mete, so shall it be measured to you again." This is somewhat of a hard saying for most of us, because usually when we do things, we expect something in return for whatever we do. If we do a favor for someone, we expect a favor back. Excuse me. But in truth, you should do things from your heart, not expecting anything in return, but doing it for the sake of doing it. If you do so, regardless of how people react to you, they may react in an unthankful way or hateful way, whatever. If you do so, you will always receive a reward for it. But it won't be necessarily by people, but by your Heavenly Father, by love. And remember, by doing good without any expectation behind it, you actually strengthen your character. It means under any circumstances, you will not change, and you will continue to do good. That in itself is a reward, but it goes beyond that. To the reward that when you are in need, your Heavenly Father will supply that need for you at that time. Of course, not at the time you want, not at the time you think you should get it, from whom you should get it, but more importantly, it will be returned to you. Now, let's look at Super Friends. Why are we looking at Super Friends? Because I want to specifically single out a Super Friend here, Aquaman. Aquaman, it has been said by some people, and I've just gone to the Justice League sneak peek and watched it again for the umpteenth time. And while I was doing that, I was looking at the comment section, and one person said that Jason Momoa's Aquaman is huge. He's bigger than the normal Aquaman out there. And why did they make him so huge? I'm going to answer that. First of all, we're looking at Aquaman here in the Justice League. Super Friends. It was called Super Friends at the time. And this was opened out in 1973, as you can see here. And if you look at Aquaman, first of all, is he that much smaller than Superman? Or even Batman? Let's see. Let's have a better look here. So here are the Super Friends. They're not all flying. I don't think that's possible because Batman can't fly. But nonetheless, here we have the Super Friends. And if you look at Aquaman, just look at his chest here. His chest width. Superman's chest width and Batman's chest width. We can assume they're almost about the same size, right? And Superman's a big dude. Batman's a big dude. Here's Aquaman and Superman. Now Aquaman's further away. But if you look at his chest width again, and you look at Superman's chest width again, Superman may be slightly bigger than him, but more or less they're around about the same size. And that makes sense because Aquaman's like the Superman of the sea, right? He's like the Superman of the sea. So here he is, and he can send by an ultrasonic or ultra something messages to fish. As you can see here, the fish are watching at him like, what do you want me to do? Right? Because he can, they say talk to fish, but basically he sends signals to fish, and fish send back signals to him. Here is Aquaman from the Alex Ross painting and adapted. You can see someone also pulled it out, singled it out, and also gave him a staff. All right. So this is kind of photo edited, photoshopped. But nonetheless, here's Aquaman here. Look at his size. See how big he is. Okay? Here's Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Here he's blown up, so he's a lot bigger. Let me shrink him down to size a little bit. There he is, very small. Look at Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Look at this Aquaman. Okay, maybe I'll shrink him down too. Alright, this Aquaman and Jason Momoa's Aquaman. They're, you know, they're closer. Jason Momoa's Aquaman is a little closer to the camera, but the point is, when you look at them, this Aquaman is actually broader up top than Jason Momoa is. Can you see that? He's broader. Okay, but let's just keep it going. So here's Aquaman from Super Friends, right? And we said they're around about the same size here, right? You have Batman, Superman, Aquaman. Oh, this picture's in reverse. The R is in reverse. Yes, it's in reverse. That's interesting. But here we have Aquaman from his own comic. And look how huge and bulky and strong and strapping Aquaman looks here. Just look at him compared to the undersea astronaut doody-doo that's actually he's holding in his hand. Okay? You can see how much bigger he is than that dude. Okay, and that dude's got on a suit. Alright? Just showing you how big Aquaman actually is. He's a big dude. He's always been. This is Flashpoint Paradox. Look how big and massive Aquaman is here. Look at this massive looking, weightlifting looking man. And that's because Aquaman has super strength, super speed. He can jump very high because he's been in the water, in the sea. So he's strong. He's very, look at it. Look how massive this guy is. Same Flashpoint Paradox, I believe. Look at how huge Aquaman is. He's a big, big guy. Okay? This is Aquaman. This is Captain Atom. Look how small Captain Atom is to Aquaman. He's head and shoulders taller than Captain Atom, who's a normal, average 6 foot tall guy. Look how big he is. My point being this, if you're saying that Jason Momoa's Aquaman is bigger than Aquaman from the comics and from the animated renditions of him, this Aquaman is a Hulk compared to Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Look how huge this guy is. He got beard, by the way, in here. Here he is again, and he's outrageous somewhat, and Batman has to calm him down. And this is the character of Jason Momoa that's coming in the upcoming Justice League movie. This guy is just like him. In fact, he says outrageous. You know, Jason Momoa says things like, "Oh yeah, all right," and "woo-ha," right? And woo-hoo when he jumps off the Batmobile, right? That's this dude. And he was in the Cartoon Network's series. Look how small Captain Atom is to him. All right? He's a huge, powerful guy. Here he is again. This time he has the Green Lantern under him. Look how big he is compared to the Green Lantern. Green Lantern's like a little boy. So I'm just saying, if you're talking about Aquaman being too big, Jason Momoa's Aquaman, he ain't too big. He ain't bigger than this dude. This dude's huge. Now you had another Aquaman. He came in Justice League, I believe. And here you see him with a hook in his hand. There's different versions of Aquaman. Okay, this is like the 1990s Aquaman. But nonetheless, he's actually in the 2001 Justice League movie. Not movie, but television series. This was this Aquaman, okay? Here he's again saying outrageous. I think this is a fan's rendition of him, but it's still cool. Alright. This is not the Justice League that we saw in 2001. This is more from Cartoon Network Justice League. Now anyway, here's another version of Aquaman where he's a king. He carries his trident. And this was in Justice League. I believe this is Justice League either Unlimited or Justice League 2001. I believe this is Justice League Unlimited. And Justice League 2001 was the one with Aquaman with the hook. So you have different versions of Aquaman. This is Aquaman with the hook. I think this was either Justice League Unlimited or Justice League. And this one was probably Justice League. So maybe it's the hook came after this. So it's very possible this version could have been before this version. But then you got the other versions here that you saw. This is the one from Super Friends, goes into some of Justice League, and then it migrates into this version. First he gets here, then he's this version, and then he comes this version, right? Point is, they're all huge. In video games, This is Injustice 2. Look how big Aquaman is. Look at this big hulking man. Look at that. It's huge. Here's some more of him. This was him with the beard. There's he is without the beard. See, he's big. He's a big dude. Aquaman's always been a big dude. Here he is again. He's for Injustice. It's a massive guy. There are renditions of Aquaman, though, to be fair, where he's much slimmer and smaller. But generally speaking, especially in Injustice, he was a massive dude. He's a big, powerful, massive dude. Here he is in Injustice again. Gods Among Us. He's big. Look at this big, massive. Look at his chest. Look how huge he is. It's a massive guy. Here's Jason Momoa. Not even as big as that Aquaman. His chest is not as big as that guy. I'm just saying, if you're going to go saying he's huge, he's bigger than any other Aquaman, then you got to back it up. Now, of course, Jason Momoa's Aquaman is bigger than Batman. He's even taller than Batman. Okay, he's the biggest guy in the Justice League here in this roster. The Flash is the smallest. Then comes Wonder Woman. Then comes Cyborg. Then comes Batman. Then comes Aquaman. All right, he's a big guy. He's not small. All right, you can see he's taller than Batman. Just get the tip of his head there, and you can see he's bigger than Batman. All right, Flash is the smallest dude there, and that makes sense. But the point is, Aquaman, he's always been big, mostly. Look at him again. He's much bigger again. And he's far behind Batman here, and he's still bigger than Batman. He's a massive dude. Always been that way. Okay, folks? Always been that way. There he is again. Aquaman. Alright? Just that people don't know much about Aquaman, I think, and that's why Jason Momoa is really going to get people hyped up about Aquaman. They're definitely going to. It's the king of the seas, man. And that's awesome. But they've been, the comic books and the later depictions of Aquaman have actually been badass all along. It's just that I think Super Friends is the most memorable times when people remember Aquaman with his kind of sort of cheesy lines. And then, of course, we also had the earlier versions of Aquaman, which were more adventure-based, you know. But Aquaman's always been big and strong. He's always been big and strong throughout history. So I just wanted to dispel that notion, and again, encourage you people to continue to do good. I inspire you. I hope I encourage you to continue to do good no matter what. And also have good intentions in your heart, and also carry out good things. And don't look for feedback for it. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. You guys have a great one.